Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez. Here in the town of Barnstable, we're all connected by the same government, the same schools, and the Cape Cod lifestyle. But Barnstable's identity is indelibly associated with the unique characteristics and communities of our 7 villages. In that spirit, we bring you part 4 of our 7-part Village Profile series. Today, we pay a visit to Osterville, a postcard-worthy community full of beautiful homes, picturesque waterfront, and a quaint commercial center that still offers plenty of dining and shopping options. Osterville Village Association President Chuck Sabat joins us as we tour the village. Let's go. Our tour of Barnstable's 7 villages brings us today to Osterville, and I'm standing here with Chuck Sabat, the president of the Osterville Village Association, who will be our tour guide today. Chuck, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Now, right behind us here, we have the brand new, or what will soon be the brand new Osterville Village Library. Looks like it's going to be an absolutely beautiful structure. Let's start talking about this. Explain to me the initiative and how this all came about.
Sure. Well, as you know, there was a library on this site that was raised in order to accommodate the new facility, and this was an initiative that was really begun by the people that are the trustees of the library. They decided that they wanted to construct a facility that would not only be an updated library, but would also provide for meeting rooms, be sort of a community center. And they do have in their plans, I believe, 2 very nice meeting rooms that will be used by people in the village for various functions, and in addition will be a traditional library with traditional library resources. And I believe it has a price tag of about $6 million, and they've raised a substantial amount of that money with pledges coming right here from the village, from the local community. So it really is a great local initiative, and it's been done primarily by local people with local funding.
Now, I think that says a lot about the community of Osterville, and certainly that's something that I'd like to talk with you about. A $6 million initiative is no small task, especially to be raised in large part through private funds. So talk about what makes this community what it is.
This is one of the few places that's left on Cape Cod that's really a true village. You can live in this village and walk to a restaurant, you can walk to a grocery store, you can walk to a newspaper store, you can walk to get a cup of coffee, walk to get your hair cut. So there are so many things that you can do here that are really typical of a traditional Cape Cod village and that type of lifestyle. And I think that attracts a lot of people who then fall in love with this place. And Osterville is a very easy place to fall in love with, just because of its layout and its the beauty of the village, the natural beauty on the beaches and on the seashore. So I think what that does is that then builds a great sense of community.
Now, we're going to move on here and change locations, talk a little bit about the Village Association, some of the issues that it continues to work on. So we're headed over to the Osterville Bay School, or at least what once was the Osterville Bay School anyway, correct?
Exactly.
All right, so let's go there. So just a quick stroll down the street here finds us at the former site of the Osterville Bay Elementary School. And Chuck, as the Village Association president, I know that this is an issue that you guys have in focus right now.
Right. This is probably a major issue that's been on our table for a while. And first of all, the Osterville Bay School has been here since the early part of the 20th century. And there are any number of Osterville natives who will tell you that this is where they went to elementary school. And it was closed, I believe, approximately 4 years ago. In the reallocation of resources in the education department, decided that this school should be closed. And it was unfortunate because it truly was a village school. I mean, people would walk to school, ride to school on their bikes and whatever else. So it was closed. So now the question is what to do with the structure. And there is a lady who has come up with a proposal to put in a school for autistic children, which I believe would be an excellent use of the facility. It would be an educational use, it would be a benign use in my estimation, and would probably be a good use of the building, and it would be for a good cause. And
but are there complications?
There is a complication with it, and the complication is that the proponents of the project also wanted to incorporate the community building that's in the back of the school, which is a separate structure altogether, and really had no connection with the school per se, and is supposed to be for the community at large. So we at the Village Association have endorsed a compromise. We don't have the ultimate vote our determination as to what happens there, but at least we voiced a compromise, or we reached a compromise in which we said that we would agree to allow the lady to use the building from 9 to 3 every day. She's going to put some money into it, and then it will be available after that and on weekends for community use.
Chuck, let's talk a little bit more generally about the Village Association.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about its mission, and if folks would like to get involved in your organization, how they can do that.
Well, the Village Association, of course, is an organization that is designed to benefit the residents of the village of Osterville. We really have two purposes. One is to address any issues that will affect the village of Osterville, and as a part of that, to keep the village informed as to what is occurring town-wide and village-wide. And secondly, we also use those dues as in a charitable way to benefit some organizations within the village of Osterville. And the three organizations that we generally benefit every year would be the library, the Village Historic Society, which is down the street from here, and the Armstrong Kelly Park. We also sponsor the annual concert. We co-sponsor the concert on the Green. Trooper Dan Clark, who comes in every June. We help to sponsor the Village Day parade.
Sure.
So these are some of the things that we do, and all of the money that we collect goes directly back into the village of Osterville. I
know that there is a monument that you were telling me about that you're especially fond of, and I want to go there as we finish up our tour here of Osterville, so let's head over that way. So we're right in the heart of Osterville Village now, and what's behind us is a familiar sight in a number of different villages, memorials to those who have fallen in wars throughout the course of American history. Chuck, tell us a little bit about what's special about this area here.
Well, this area is something that most people would not think of taking a view of or looking at when they're in the village of Osterville. This happens to be one of my, I think maybe for lack of a better phrase, personal favorites or a place of great interest to me. But right behind us is a memorial to residents of the village of Osterville, young men who fell in the Mexican War, the Civil War, and the First World War. And if you look on that monument, as we were remarking earlier, you'll see a number of Cape Cod names.
Oh, yeah.
Crosby, Hinckley is on there. Those are names that come to mind that are prominent. You can see those names, and it sort of gives you a sense of what the history of Osterville is and the history of Cape Cod is. But what's of particular interest to me is right behind us, there's another monument, which is to Lieutenant General James Gavin, who was the commanding officer of the 82nd Airborne Division, very famous division in World War II, and he was a very famous general. And the reason that this monument is erected to him here is that he resided in Osterville. He had a home in Oyster Harbors, and he was chairman of the board after he had left the Army, eventually became chairman of the board, I believe it was of Arthur Anderson Company outside of Boston. And he lived here for many, many years, and after his death, his widow lived here. And in fact, she used to attend the Memorial Day observances at Armstrong Kelly Park with us.
Before we let you go, Chuck, obviously we're in a significant place in Osterville right now, but there's many other sites to see. If someone was coming here for just one weekend, what are some of the places that you'd say you have to visit?
Well, I would want to take a walk through Armstrong Kelly Park. And then I would also want to spend time right here at the main drag, Main Street, Weano Ave area of Osterville. I would probably want to go to Island Outfitters and get myself a pair of Breton red pants if I were here. I would want to have, probably on Friday night, I'd want to go to Wimpy's for dinner. That's where everybody usually goes on Friday night. And on Saturday night, I'd probably move it up a notch to the Five Bays Bistro. And then on Sunday morning, probably the cheese shop for breakfast, or over to Swift's for coffee. I still call it Swift's. It's actually Fancy's now, but it was Swift's Market for many years.
Yeah.
There are many, many things to do here. And, of course, as I mentioned before, I would just want to walk around the area and just take in the beautiful views and look at and appreciate the architecture of Osterville. We were mentioning earlier that one of the great features of Osterville is we still have a number of the traditional old Cape Cod homes that are still here, have been preserved, are still appreciated by people, and it's a wonderful tribute to that architecture, and it's all part of the history of Cape Cod.
If you'd like to show your pride and support for Osterville, join the over 850 residents that make up one of the largest village organizations in the town of Barnstable. Log on to OstervilleVillageAssociation.org for more information. Well, that's all for now. I'm Nick Cortez, and we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.